Leah?
Yes,
You can hear us okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, great. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order then. This is the time and the place for the November 11, 2025 regular school board meeting. Welcome to all of you joining us here this evening. Bobby, is it really standing room only back there? I just thought maybe we were out of seats. Welcome to all of you joining us here this evening. Welcome as well to anybody who might be tuning in or watching via the live stream. We've got a pink sign-up sheet there on the speakers table for anybody who wants to address the board during public comment time. You will be given 5 minutes to speak to the board. Please understand that Iowa law prohibits the discussion of specific employees of the district or their job performance. Also, in accordance with board policy, board members will not respond to comments so that we can comply with open meeting laws. I jumped the gun on the announcements there. We got to introduce the board members here tonight. To my right, we've got Zach Wall and Sarah Faltis. To my left, we have Karina Hernandez and Maria Morales. Joining us remotely from Houston, I think, is Leah Stanley. Immediately to my left here is Dr. Theron Schutte, the superintendent of schools. To my right is Mr. Randy Denham, our board secretary. I am Sean Heitman, and we've got two of our board members here this evening, Namade Harmon and Audrey Miller-Pfeiffer. With all of those things out of the way, would you all please join me in reading the mission statement of the Marshalltown Community School District? We develop learners who have the knowledge, skills, and positive mindset to successfully pursue a meaningful future through personalized learning experiences. And please stand as you're able and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Are there any changes to the agenda tonight?
There are.
We do have one change tonight. We did have a agreement with Fax Education Services on the consent agenda. This is what St. Francis uses to utilize their title funds for some supplementary educational services. We were made aware of some additional information regarding those services today, so we are pulling that agreement to get some clarification from the Department of Ed before we bring that back for board approval.
Okay. That, is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Second.
Faltis Hernandez?
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. That motion carries 6-0. Are you starting to recognize?
Yeah, I'll kick things off. With Veterans Day falling in a non-board meeting week, we wanted to take this opportunity to honor our employee veterans. We want to recognize and express our deepest gratitude to all the veterans that are on our team. There's 19 this year. Their service represents a profound commitment to our nation. We value the leadership, integrity, and disciplined execution they bring to our organization every day. We're honored to have these distinguished individuals as part of the workforce and thank them for their service and sacrifice. Of the 19, they represent a lot of our different employee groups, from teachers to citizen coaches, behavioral strategists, security officers, paraeducators, buildings and grounds, and mechanic. And so as customary, I will go out and personally thank each one of them on Veterans Day on behalf of the board and the district, and probably have Abby tagging along a little bit to capture some of that. Mr. Esgrig, you want to come forward?
Do cross country first.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some very high achieving student athletes here from this weekend and the whole season, of course. But Preston Johnson to my left, who placed second in Fort Dodge this past weekend for the Class 4A State Boys Cross Country tournament or meet, and Preston was just 2 seconds away from winning, so it was a very close race. A kid from Cedar Falls who was neck and neck with the whole time, even had the lead there for a while. Broke the school record. It was, I think there were 4 of the fastest times ever run at the state meet in this race. So it was a really good accomplishment, obviously, for Preston. And then, of course, I have Carter to my right, who is a senior and placed 34th, right? And was kind of right in the middle of the pack and could have finished obviously much higher. But I know he had a great season, and we will definitely miss Carter next year as well. But the good news is we'll get them both back for track in the spring, too. So Coach Pedek's here as well, if he wants to come say a few words.
How long do I get to brag about these guys? I think what's important to know about these two is obviously you have to have a hard work ethic to do what they do. But what I think one of the things I'm most proud of is how well respected they are in the running community. You see other coaches talking to them. You see other athletes telling them good luck, good job, things like that. And then the other thing that I'm really impressed by is their discipline. Everything they do, they filter through their running. They every decision they make, how is this going to affect tomorrow's practice? How is this going to affect next week's meet? Can I stay out late or should I go to bed? Every decision they make, they filter through, and it takes that level of discipline to be. And even Carter was a part of the fastest race in Iowa history. He came out on the shorter end of that, but he was still a part of the fastest race in Iowa history. Preston was right up front leading that fastest race. And the state of Iowa is a hotbed for cross country right now, and it's and he's part of that, which is really, really cool. There were before Saturday, I believe there were 5 guys in Iowa ranked in the top 60 in the nation. He beat 3 of them. His time beat 3 of those guys who are ranked in the top 50. So Iowa is the place to come get recruits right now. And he was right there with those, and he's contributing to that. And I think his comment in the paper was, it was pretty neat to be a part of that, and it certainly is. And it's neat to see that coming right here from Marshalltown. So I'm very, very proud of their attitudes, their work ethics, their leadership, just about everything you could ask for as a coach. They make coaching pretty easy when you have the mindsets and the attitude that these 2 young men have. So, thank you I could go on and on and on if you're going to.
Well, Carter, Preston, anything you guys want to share?
It was a really fun day, and the last 2 years, the weather hasn't been great with just like super cold and kind of miserable to be outside. So this year it was a nice change because it was only like 40 degrees and the wind wasn't that bad. So it was nice to have some good conditions for the state meet.
I would just say, obviously wasn't my best race, but it was still fun to be out there and racing with all these fast guys. Was ranked 21st going into it, and obviously didn't run that time, but it was still just fun being out there with all these fast guys, and seeing Preston being able to be placing second was pretty cool to watch.
And Carter may be disappointed, but he will finish his career number 7 on Bobcat. All-time Bobcat list. And when you think about the history that Marshalltown has had, we only have had 10 guys go under 16 minutes, which he did twice this year. So he's kind of cutting himself a little short there. When you look at the history of Marshalltown cross country, he's right up there with the best of them.
Mm-hmm. Nice job. Yeah.
And there's a lot of state champions on that list.
There's a lot of state champions, a lot of runner-ups. Yes, yeah.
So.
And maybe one more state champion here before it's all said and done. But we got one more shot at it, that's for sure. And I know he'll use that. Last year he did not have a good meet. He was sick, and that was his motivation. From June, we started June 2nd. We started summer running June 2nd. If you remember, we were still in school. So we started summer running before we were done with school. And that first week, he said, I'm training to be a state champion. So I'm sure that comment will start as soon as track season's over, that I'm training to be a state champion. So hopefully we'll add one more to that. But yeah, Carter's part of a very historic program and should be proud of being in the top 7 right now.
Congratulations.
Question I have is that you're wearing green. Does that mean anything going forward? And then what's your plans? Next year?
I haven't decided on college yet, but I do want to run in college somewhere.
Yeah, I've been on a lot of phone calls lately and hoping to get some visits and after track season and after cross country. So it'll be fun to see where I end up going.
The green doesn't mean anything yet.
Not yet.
Doesn't
All right.
mean Oregon yet.
Yeah.
Well, we're very proud of your guys' accomplishments. Good job. Great season.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Do our representatives from First Interstate Bank want to come forward? FFA students? Mr. Humpton as well? Whatever you want. Okay.
You're gonna sit, if you sit, I'm sitting.
So I have 2 representatives from First Interstate Bank here in Marshalltown, Jenny from our South Branch, or Southridge location, and Tom from our First Avenue location downtown. And I know Tom is a proud class of 77 alum, not 81, sorry, Dr. Schutte, but class of 77, and are you Marshalltown alum? Okay, well, that's all right. So we really appreciate First Interstate Bank's support. They recently donated $600 to our FFA program and $450 to the Marshalltown High School band program. So we also do our banking with them. So we're very appreciative of their support, and it was very nice. Makes my job easy when they reach out to me and say they want to write a check. So really very much appreciate it, and we'll put the money towards good use. And if you guys have any words.
Not a lot. Just, we thank the school system for holding their funds at First Interstate Bank, and we're trying to find a way to support you as well. And so just a little background, Ryan's dad and I, Jeff, went to high school together and played basketball and other things together. So I also, I have a little personal reason for supporting the athletic program and all their activities at the high school. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Abby, would you like a photo?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Do you want me to move the chairs?
Thank you so much. I appreciate your support.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Tom, since class 77, you might be interested in this next recognition, just saying.
I'll listen intently.
So if Mark Martorello, Bobby Shomo, and Jonathan Bizio would please come forward. So I think most people here probably know 2 of the 3 individuals at the table. Mark Martorello in the center is an award-winning Iowa illustrator known for his expressive pen and ink and digital artwork that celebrates local life and community spirit. Some of you may have noticed a graphic that went up on Franklin Field recently. Mark is the artist behind that. He was a longtime artist for the Des Moines Register. His work appeared across Iowa for more than 30 years. He doesn't look that old, but including iconic posters that have helped advertise events such as RAGBRAI. Mark His art captures the heart of Iowa, its places, people, and stories, making his work a fitting tribute to the newly remodeled Franklin Field. Each poster embodies his signature blend of craftsmanship and pride. I added to his bio that possibly his greatest accomplishment was marrying Corrine Hale, Corey Martorello, who's a 1977 Marshtown High School graduate. And Corey's sister, Kathy, since Corey couldn't come, joined. So Kathy, if you want to wave at everyone, Kathy is a retired Marshtown High School language arts teacher, Golden Apple Award winner, right? So I think most of you know Bobby and Jonathan. Bobby's longtime supporter of the Bobcats. He and Shomo Madsen Insurance were unbelievably generous to cover the cost of the prints that we've recently commissioned from Jonathan, who was also generous in providing protective covering for those prints, which are actually going to go on sale tomorrow at, I think it's 5 different establishments. We've got Bobcat Cafe, we've got Hellberg Jewelers, we've got the Tremont Grill, we've got Lily Mays, we've got Legends, and we've got Minuteman. Jonathan is the owner of Minuteman, and Minuteman will also provide an online opportunity. We'll be pushing out advertising tomorrow that will include a QR code for those that want to order online or order with shipping and handling. But I think it's easy to say, since that graphic went up on Franklin last Thursday, it's kind of sort of become the talk of the town. And so it's going to be really cool for us to have these prints that we're going to sell unframed for $25 to help. Because of Bobby and Jonathan's generosity, all of the proceeds from those prints will go directly to helping support Miller Middle School's track and field program, football program, as it relates to some of the equipment needs that they're going to have. So on behalf of the district, and I would like to provide the 3 of you with your own framed copy of the print. Thank you guys very much.
Keep that up.
I want to get a picture of you with the hoods.
Oh, you do your thing.
I'll move.
There you go. No problem. Big smiles, you guys. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. I think newspaper over here would like one.
I should have you show the prints off for the audience.
Yeah, but it's not up.
Thank you very much. Yep. Jonathan,
Thank you, there. Appreciate it.
So this next item is information only. U.S. News and World Reports recently published their 2026 Best Elementary Schools ranking. And the news is great for the Marshalltown Community School District, as 3 schools earned a Best Elementary Schools Award because they place among the top 40% in the state. Congratulations to Fisher, Franklin, and Hoagland Elementary Schools for earning this distinction.
Nice.
Nice.
The last item on here is for Iowa All-State Chorus selection. Marshalltown High School student Ella Reynolds was recently selected for Iowa All-State Chorus. She will represent Marshalltown at the 79th Annual All-State Music Festival concert on November 22nd at 7:30 p.m. in Ames. Students that are selected represent approximately the top 17% of those who auditioned in October. Ella and choir director Amy Ossie are here tonight to talk more about this process.
The process for auditioning for All-State for vocal is a long one. Ella is probably one of them who actually has gone the longest with it this particular year. Students begin, music arrives July 25th. It's dispersed to the students as fast as we can before that non-contact week happens. And then right after that, all-state camps happen at various locations around the state. Ella attended 2 camps this year. She went to the Wartburg Meistersinger All-State Camp and one at Central College as well. And so she's had a lot of prep getting ready for this. And then we had lots of rehearsals throughout the school year in the last 8-10 weeks, getting ready for the auditions that took place on the 25th. Our day starts very early. For the past probably 18 years, we have started with all-state vocalists having breakfast at school, and it usually happens somewhere between 5 a.m. and 5:30. We're there, and primarily for the purpose that I want them to have some food in them before we leave, because most of us don't want to eat that bright and early. But we have wonderful parents who bring some fabulous breakfast. Thank you, Mom. She brought the hot protein, good stuff. And then that sends us on our way. We have just enough time to run through the audition cuts. The process to audition for All-State is different than almost any other audition you'll do. The morning of, they find out exactly what parts of each All-State selection they will have to sing. They never start at the beginning, which would be way too easy. And you are just randomly given a spot. You maybe sing 20 measures of a song. You get starting pitches for every voice part. So if there are 8 voice parts at that point in the song, you are discerning which voice do I need to know, and then you sing a cappella for that short cut. You go to the next cut, and it starts over. So it is an intense process. Ella made it through round 1 and was recalled this year, which is always a great chance to show off one more time why you should be an All-Stater. And we were thrilled to find her name on the wall. Do you want to add anything?
I'll talk a little bit about my prep, which included not eating dairy for a week, which was horrid, and sleeping face down on the Hampton Dumont gym floor between first round and callbacks. I'm gonna give all my success to those.
Our day ended, I think the final list for the sopranos went up at about 4:30 in the afternoon. So it is a very long day and then a drive home with a quick stop at McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a great way to come home this year, and probably as happy as I was for Ella, one of the brightest spots of it was seeing the other auditionees and their very true, sincere support and excitement for Ella and her acceptance. When their names weren't on that wall, there weren't tears for that, there were tears of joy for Ella. That's all I have. Questions?
How many kids did you have try out?
We had 4 who actually went through the process this year. I started with 5, and 1 wasn't able to attend that day, so it was small.
Well, Ella, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you.
There's been a lot of recognitions tonight, so accidentally missed one, but for Iowa Student Council Honor Society with Meritus Distinction Award. So our student council was recognized for their exemplary distinction and dedication. Charlotte Santana, David Santana spearheaded their efforts and earned their council the Iowa Student Council Honor Council with Meritus Distinction Award. They were recognized at the Iowa Student Leadership Conference at Iowa State University in Ames on October 27th. I'll pass the mic over to them so they can talk more about it.
Hi, my name is Junior Carrillo, and I'm a part of the Student Council this year. I'm a freshman. And the Honor Council program of the Iowa Association of Student Councils is designed to recognize student councils that present evidence of having an effective and progressive council organization in various areas.
These areas, first of all, I'm Alice. I'm also a part of the Student Council, and these areas include community service, state project, and school and community betterment, and school connectedness.
We are proud to have earned Honor Council with meritorious distinction for the 2024-2025 school year, and we're working towards earning Honor Council this school year. We also hope to earn National Honor Council status this school year.
On behalf of all the members of the Marshallton High School Student Council, we are thankful for supportive school administration and appreciate the opportunity to share Honor Council designation with you and all our community this evening.
We do have one other advisor, Amanda Ewing, who was also part of our trio last year, and so we're thankful that we have 3 advisors again this year, with Ms. McKibben being our 3rd person. Ms. Ewing was trying to be here, but she's at a cheer banquet at the moment, so she sends her congratulations to the group as well.
And first of all, I want to apologize for my accent. It's so big, and you can almost see and touch it. But I want to say thank you for all the support for our principal. Crazy ideas that we have. He's not sure sometimes, and he's like, sure, let's see what happened. So I want to say thank you very much to our principal, to everybody. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations, and we hope to hear from you later this year that you aspired to those other recognitions that you're trying to reach. So,
Good job.
Congratulations. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, in the history, we don't know that the council has ever earned honor status before. That could be someone could dig in the archives and let us know, because we'd like to add to the plaques if that's the case.
Congratulations.
Do they need a picture? Maybe not.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We've got minutes from the October 20th meeting. Jackie, any items to note in personnel this week? Okay. Looking at interagency agreements, contracts, there's a client service agreement between Pro Care Therapy and the school district for non-exclusive referral and placement. And an agreement with Proximity Learning to receive virtual science instructions for 7th grade for the 25-26 school year. Questions about either one of those agreements? Looking at open enrollments for the current school year, there are 8 out, 3 in, and 1 denial, and then 1 to approve for the 26-27 school year. Randy, anything to note in bills? Any questions for Randy about the bills? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Faltis Morales. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. Nobody's on the pink sheet, so Mia. Mia, all those years ago when you were sitting over there at that table, did you ever imagine you'd be back?
No, but here I am. So my name's Mia Barajas, and I am the new MEP coordinator, and I am a MHS grad of 2020. All right, so a little bit about the MEP program. So we serve first-generation students, so neither parent has a four-year college degree. And it's for students who demonstrate a financial need, and they start out in 9th grade, and then we will follow them up until 12th grade. We serve about 300 to 400 students a school year. We do have some scholarship requirements for MEP, so they have to be an MHS MEP senior, must have a minimum 2.75 GPA, or be ranked in the top half of their graduating class, and then maintain a 90% attendance rate at MHS. We did also add some new criteria, or they can maintain a 90% attendance rate plus 2.75 GPA for MCC coursework within the approved pathway. And those are for selective courses, and those courses are Administrative Office, Business Administration, Construction Residential, Culinary, Apparel, Criminal Justice, Machine, Tool and Die, or Manufacturing Welding. And our MEP scholarship covers 50% tuition and fees to attend MCC for a maximum of 64 credit hours over 36 months. This is our 2024 to 2025 school year. We don't have the numbers yet for this school year. For MHS and MLA 9th to 12th grade, there's about 330 students, and at MCC there are 34 students. In 2025, 42 students received the MEP scholarships, and 26 have plans to attend MCC. And then the MEP seniors with the post-secondary education plans were 86%. We do have some new MEP board members, so here is the list of them. And then these are our sponsors of MEP. I also brought our MEP brochures that I'm going to give to you guys, and in them we have a donation pledge card, and I'm going to be giving these out to every employee in the school district, and they can donate money from their paycheck or just donate to MEP. From without their paycheck. All right, thank you. Do you have any questions?
Was the program in pretty rough shape when you took it over?
Not at all.
Just kidding, Priya. You can pass one. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
Thanks, Mia. Lisa?
I'm Lisa Pegler. I'm the preschool through 6th grade special ed instructional coach.
I'm Rebecca Kerr. I'm a special education teacher at Lenahan.
So we are going to talk to you about Number Worlds, which is the special education math curriculum. We started implementation last year, and so we're in year 2, and we're just going to tell you a little bit about it. You can go to the next. Going. So Number Worlds is a research-based intervention curriculum. It is targeted for those tier 2 and tier 3 kids that are struggling, students. We want to get them up to grade level. And it's built on foundational research. It has, it's called Building Blocks, which is a software online component that goes with it. It's explicitly and systematically taught. And the focus is on number sense. So we're focusing on closing that gap, teaching the number sense and the core concepts, and using those math standards. It has lessons, and since it is a curriculum that we use, there's a lot of hands-on games that you're going to see in just a minute. There's pictures, and then interactive activities that bring in the real-world applications and scenarios that the students learn about. And so we base that on data and progress monitoring and weekly and unit tests that we can use that data to determine whether it's working or not and what we need to do differently. And then it also has, like I said, the digital component and virtual manipulatives and just lots of things online too that we can use to help us determine to do things differently as well. Next slide. So this is just a easier way to look at it. Number Worlds has levels A to J, and so in just a second you'll see the others, but this is A to C, and those are the pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade, and those are taught in 32 weeks, and those are straight through, so that's a full year, each of those levels. And then the next ones, next slide. The next ones are levels D through J, and those each have 5 units, but you don't have to teach those chronologically. You could go across in a different way if you wanted, or you could go straight down depending on what the student needs. And so there's a lot of flexibility, and since it is specially designed instruction, so we can change it to what the student needs based on their grade level, but also on their need. So we have been working a lot with teachers on this. This is the first program, or the first curriculum, math curriculum, that special ed has had. I don't know when they had a lot. This is my 3rd year here, but when I came, they did not have a math curriculum. And so this is the actual, we started last August of 2024, and we did the implementation with the McGraw-Hill trainer, and then we gave teachers time to kind of grasp it and get their feet wet. And so then in April of last year, we started working with Teresa Smith, who is the AEA math consultant, and she led us through some professional development. And then Teresa and I met started meeting with building teams individually, just at a building level. And then there was also an optional online academy class that was created so teachers could have that option to learn more about the curriculum and spend more time digging into it during the summer if they chose. In August, we had another professional development with Teresa focused on Number Worlds. And then we have just finished in the October 13th PD, she did another breakout session. We have been meeting with other buildings that we didn't get to in the spring, so we're working with those buildings now in the fall, and then we'll continue to work with those. I work with individuals also, and then in the spring we'll do more follow-up and observations and on-site coaching. So we have a lot of opportunities to support teachers in this learning. These are just pictures from the October 13th of teachers digging into the curriculum and really digging into the games. The games are great, but they do require some time to figure out the rules and how to play them. And so we need to give teachers time to do that. And so that's just some pictures of that day. And then these are kids playing. So Becca's going to talk about that.
So the kids love these activities. The next day they're always like, oh, can we play that game again? So this one is called Meet Your Neighbors. And so they're learning before and after. So he's holding up an 11. So he'll say, who's my neighbors next door? Of course, it's going to be 10 and 12. And then he'll say, well, my close neighbors are 10 and 12. 10 is before 11. 12 is after 11. So get those number concepts in there. This one's Rosemary Super Shoes, and they're learning how to count by tens and then ones. So if she had 44, she would jump 4 tens and walk 4 ones to get to 44. And this game is ranges of 10, so they're figuring out which two numbers that number is between. So she had 24, it'd be between 20 and 30. And then we're like, well, which is it closer to? So we talk about 4 and under and 5 and above to see if it's 20 or 30. So she figured out that number was closer to 20. And I'm really enjoying the Number Worlds program this year. I started like delving in deeper to it, and I'm connecting their IEP goals, with the math standards that connects to the Number Worlds curriculum. So then we're figuring out which unit and lesson and level they need to be, and then back mapping it with the coherence map, and really filling in those gaps to help the students.
So these are just some quotes from other teachers that are not here tonight, just so that we included. And you can see that it has been positive so far. Any questions?
And this is elementary through 6th grade?
It can be K-12.
Oh, okay. Are we implementing K-12?
I'm not in 7-12, so I'm not real sure what's happening.
I think we have.
Yeah, I was going to say, there are some at Miller. I know that. I'm not sure what's happening at the high school. Sorry.
Okay.
And this happens during pullout, right?
Yes. Okay. Yep, during specially designed instruction. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you may remember that when we adopt a curriculum, we've had it in place for 1 year, we always come back to you and we update you on how that implementation is going. So you just heard from Number Worlds in this world of special education for math, but really maybe we should have done this one first because it is the core K through 12 core math curriculum, and we're here to share some progress that we've made. We have some teacher quotes, and I don't want to steal the thunder for the 3 that are sitting here. They're fabulous, and I know they'll do a great job. So Erica, here you go.
Thank you. Okay, presenters. I'm Erica Finders. I'm the Pre-K 6 Curriculum and Professional Development Leader.
I'm Laura Everly, first grade teacher at Hoagland.
Tim Holmgren, principal at Franklin.
Okay, so the curriculum highlights, these are actually the same bullets that we shared with you when we asked you to purchase this product. And hopefully you will see some of these things come through as we talk about this. Thinking about students building academic language, there's SEL components built in. There's a lot of different assessments that can be helpful for teachers to decide next steps. There's a very clear instructional routine. Laura's going to talk a little bit about that. And there is a balance of direct instruction and students exploring. She's going to share more about that. And then there's also differentiation lessons, there's scaffolds, and a focus on fluency and number sense. No, that's not the part you're talking about. I can't remember. Anyway, all of that is part of the curriculum. And if we can go to the next slide, Laura is going to give you some specifics.
All right, so every lesson starts off with a number routine, and then the second part is the part that you see up here. So this is 2 different lessons. It's called the Be Curious, and a lot of it is just like kids noticing things. So like as you can see on the first one, like what do you notice, what do you wonder? And so at the beginning of the year, as kids were starting to get used to it, it's like, I see bunnies, I see ducks. But as we've been moving throughout and been having a lot of those like conversations with each other, it's, I see 4 bunnies, I see 5 ducks, and there are, X amount all together. And so they're doing a lot of that math thinking without actually like knowing it. And like, it's literally me saying, what do you notice? What do you wonder? Mm-hmm. And so that's been really cool to see. We're practicing partner conversations as well. So they're getting a chance to talk with the partner to help build that vocabulary up a little bit and that confidence up a little bit. And then another kind of be curious is on the right there. So what questions could you ask? And, you know, they're first graders. I wonder why she's blowing bubbles. But also with that is, you know, I wonder why there's more bubbles on that side than on that side. And so it's been really cool to see kids just having those conversations with each other with that. So that's how we start off every single math lesson. And then as we get in, teachers have the option to choose either an activity-based or a more guided exploration. So activities, in this particular lesson, we're having counters, and they roll a dice, and it's like 6 counters were representative of frogs on a log, and then they roll the dice again, and it's how many are on a lily pad. And so altogether, they're just kind of working on like figuring out that it's easier to add numbers together than to count, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 11. So it has like the questions throughout it that I can use to help guide their thinking a little bit more. I personally use those more for concepts that are a little bit more like ingrained or like not as new to them. If a concept is more new to them, I might use like a guided exploration. And on the right there is the very condensed version of how that is. My first time through this, I started jumping ahead so much because it moves very slow and like it's very explicit. So like the frogs, so how many frogs are there? And like the kids can look and they can count them right away, but you know, that's not the lesson. The lesson is, can they add them together? And eventually the result of both of them is that kids find out that it's easier to add them together rather than to count them one by one.
We have just some quotes here from teachers about what they've noticed this year. This one is about the activity-based that Laura just talked about and how you can see student thinking without having to interrupt them. This one is about the fact that Reveal teaches why, not just how, and that's really, really important. For a long time with math, we just taught the procedure, and if you don't know why you're doing something, it's really easy to make a mistake and not understand why that doesn't make any mathematical sense at all. And so we're trying to get back to having students understand why they're doing what they're doing when they're doing math. And so this 6th grade teacher is talking about how this curriculum supports that. And then also the ALEX program, which is a side-by-side digital program for students to work through as well, and how helpful that is. The next one is from a 1st grade teacher, actually a colleague of Laura's, talking about how what a difference she's seen in the 1st graders coming in this year, having had the kinder curriculum last year, and how much more number sense they have. And that last part, our first topic in 1st grade is knowing numbers to 120 and comparing them. And I remember how painful it was last year. But again, the kids coming in this year had number sense and made the unit this year seem easy. So it's exciting to see how when we start from the beginning with the curriculum and it builds, that it makes an impact on kids. And then this is a quote from a high school teacher, because remember, this is a K-12 adoption that we did. So this Reveal Math is happening K-12. And she's talking again about making sure that students really understand what they're doing and that it sets them up to productively struggle, and also provides lots of problem-solving opportunities and ways for kids to see how they'll use math, which is a common question, like, when will I ever use this? And Reveal really sets them up with that in high school, so that's good to know as well. Okay, so really quickly here, we've provided quite a bit of professional learning. We had a half-day launching with the curriculum company at the beginning of 2024, so last school year. And then we also did a half-day on the new academic math standards that came out last year and how that connects to Reveal. We did a 2-hour ALEX and ALEX Adventure training. We did another follow-up training in January. We had Teresa Smith, who Lisa mentioned, as well as supporting Number Worlds, also supported us with awesome PD session in April that teachers just really thought was great. And then we are planning to have her back for 1 or 2 sessions this school year as well. And you can go to the next one. We are also doing professional learning through coaching. And so our purposes are to build teacher, instructional coach, principal, central office staff, knowledge around best practices in math, and then also to help us understand where to go next with PD. When we're in every classroom, seeing what's going on, it's much easier to know how to respond. We have 3 full days of coaching support scheduled at all of the K-6 buildings with Brady Johnson from Central Rivers. Tim's going to talk more about that in a second. And then we have 4 to 5 days of coaching at Miller and the high school with Teresa Smith from Central Rivers. So we're really excited about that work. And we started at Franklin, and Tim is going to talk about how that went.
Good evening. Last Tuesday, we had Brady Johnson at Franklin. The structure we used for her coaching time with us, she visited 3 math lessons. It was kinder, 4th, and 2nd. And following each of those sessions, she did a debriefing session with the team. The team that visited the classrooms consisted of Brady, Erica, and Shauna for different ones, myself, and our instructional coach, Amy Phillips. I think the best thing about it was that during the debrief, we set it up so that Brady could have a conversation, or the group could have a conversation with the team about the whole lesson. And so Brady and the team went 20 minutes in each of the 3 classrooms. And by the time the debriefing was done, the other 2 teachers had an idea of what happened when they were in the other classroom. They used a feedback forum called a Wow, Wonder, and What's Next. And then that was that was only completed by select members of the visiting group. One of the best things about this is we get external eyes on the implementation of our curriculum. Our teachers are used to hearing from myself or hearing from our instructional coach, but it does provide a nice reinforcement to them when they have an external person come in and see the great things that we're seeing. It also allowed us to have opportunity for our teachers to learn from each other during the debrief when they were talking about the wonders and the what next. And so we're looking forward to our next section, which is actually tomorrow. Brady will be at Franklin, and she will visit 1st grade and 3rd grade, and we'll follow the same structure.
I did not make a question slide, but would you have any questions for us?
I have a question, but I have a comment. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we saw this lesson in 1st grade at Rogers, because I remember the frogs with Mrs. Kobe.
Yes.
So they did it in a really
That's true.
Yep.
I remember that, yes.
It's pretty neat, very engaging.
Yeah, that's
So-
where I learned the word add-end.
Yes. Okay.
Never knew that was a word before, so.
Yeah. I just remember thinking like, this is really cool, because a lot of her questions were not like, it was just questions. So what do you see? What do you notice? Like, how many do you think there is? Yeah. That's when all the kids were like, it's 4. It's like, there were so many kids that need the answer, because these are like common questions that just came to her. So do they get prompts, like the teachers get prompts of the questions that they ask the students? Yeah.
That's all in there.
It's all in there.
Not that they can't also ask
Right.
their
Yeah.
own, but-
There are a
No.
few, but yes,
Yeah.
we definitely.
Yeah.
Use them.
Expand,
Yeah.
expand on that.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
So we have done something similar with CKLA at K through 6 in the past. It was in maybe year 4 or 5 of implementation, and we learned from our teachers that it would be much more advantageous to do it in year 2 of implementation. And I think that came through real clear when we were doing some of our debriefing with the Franklin teachers. So it's been really satisfying to get to listen to our teachers collaborate and learn from each other through the lens of what our tight, loose document looks like when it comes to implementation of high-quality instructional materials. So very excited that this is our first K through 12 effort in this way. We have not embarked on a K through 12 coaching, implementation strategy before, but we have some excellent Central Rivers AEA consultants who are really partnering with us, and couldn't be happier with how it turned out when we worked through it at Franklin, and happy that Franklin was our guinea pig. So it went really well.
Any other questions or comments from anybody?
Shauna, I have a question.
I know, I forgot she was there.
Go. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you off.
Yes.
So what are some of the key differences? You talked about the special ed math, K-12 curriculum, and this K-12 curriculum. What are some of the things or elements that are present in the special ed that are different from this, or, why the need for the two different curriculums?
Yeah, that's good. So the special ed curriculum, with the exception of the pre-K, kinder, and first, is more like modular based, where you can really hone in on what are the students lacking in understanding, and then just go to that component and do some deep learning around that. It's also a lot more like game based. There's exploration in both, with the activity based in the core, but the intervention has a lot more games that kids can play to kind of grasp the concepts, and teachers can move around within the different, I'm trying to think of like second or third grade, there's like an addition section, a subtraction section, a number sense section, different things that teachers can go to what they need for the students. And then there is also an online component called Building Blocks that goes with that is more, Alex Adventure is game-like too, but it's just a little more foundational, I guess, and simplified that online component for the intervention side. Kind of just another way to come at this, a similar content. I don't know, would you add anything?
Yeah, I think that was great. And I would say the Number Worlds curriculum knows what we're delivering in core, which is incredibly important. So when we think about the alignment of what is the universal tier, what are all students getting in core, that is reveal, and Number Worlds is reveal. Does that make sense?
Also, there's a diagnostic assessment for Number Worlds that teachers all give the kids before they start, so they know where to start and what the gaps are. So that's also super helpful.
I would add that since Number Worlds is a complementary curriculum to Reveal, that the fact that Number Worlds is targeted towards specially designed instruction allows them to go deeper into the need areas than the general curriculum has a pacing guide that is more rigorous. It doesn't allow for deeper exploration in every concept, especially the basic concepts that we would expect kids to already have at the grade levels. So it allows them access to the skills that they're expected to have.
Excellent, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because we're only 9 minutes behind. We're only 9 minutes behind.
Hello. At MHS right now we are having peer tutoring. Oh my gosh. Okay. We are having peer tutoring opportunities where juniors and seniors are able to volunteer during open periods or study hall to tutor freshmen who are struggling. It's also an opportunity to earn some record hours. I think this is a great idea because it can be easy to fall behind and never catch up in high school. So you're setting them up for success early on in their high school experience. And connections can be formed amongst students, and it also takes some weight and stress off of teachers because it's a lot when you have so many students to help and they don't understand. And there is also a Canva student design challenge where
Students are able to showcase their creativity and knowledge in the STEM field. They make a 60 to 90 second video in Canva where they present their new STEM innovation or startup idea. And it's an opportunity to get exposure to systems of business and innovation. They have to explain the problem, share the solution, and show why it is important using Canva video to add pictures, sound, and animations. It's for National STEM Day, so it's a really good opportunity for students in STEM. There is a UNI admission counselor visit where a counselor from the University of Northern Iowa will come to MHS on October. Well, they came, I guess, because that already passed. On the 28th from 1 to 2:30 in the College and Career Readiness Center, located just inside the counseling office. Students are able to learn more about UNI, the application process, or financial aid. Many students have already been connected and signed to colleges for sports, and it has been a really great opportunity to ease the stress of college applications on juniors and seniors. MHS has been very proactive in helping their students with connecting with colleges and securing a future for these students. I think that's really great.
This last week, students went on a trip to Central College in Pella. They were able to visit multiple campus buildings, as well as examples of like the different dorm buildings and like housing and stuff, and also learn about a lot of the different classes that are available. I myself went. Pella's beautiful, by the way, in the fall. It was really nice to see. And it was very interesting to learn that since they are a, what's it called? I can't think of the, what? Like, it's a certain thing with the colleges. They're like is it like language arts? Or?
Liberal?
They're a liberal arts college. So students have to take like a certain, like an art class. And they do have like a glass blowing class, which I was quite interested in. If I do go there, I probably will take that because that's very cool. And afterwards, students were able to eat in like one of their dining halls, which was very nice. It was like a big buffet. It was awesome.
Dr. Smith, what do you think of Central College?
Did you take glass? Did you take glass blowing, Dr. Smith?
No, but I saw it in action.
Okay.
Mrs. Stanley, did she take glass blowing?
I also did not take glass blowing.
Nor did I. Did not even know it was offered.
Students have the opportunity to go on an 8-day trip to Costa Rica the summer of 2027, organized by Mr. Gilbertson. Meeting will be held in the library to get more information about the trip. All students. And then some things that have happened in athletics this month. Football. The boys ended their football season against the Dowling Catholic Maroons?
Yes.
Maroons losing 0-42. XC, both boys and girls had a meet this last Saturday in Fort Dodge. Girls bowling. The girls had their first practice today at Wayward Social. I don't know what day that was. Girls wrestling. They had their first practice. Again, I don't know what day that was, in the wrestling room. And our cheerleaders went to state this last weekend to perform for our community. And they did amazing, and we're very proud of them. MCC Culinary is taking a trip to Kirkwood College to go look at their culinary and hospitality portion of their college. Miss Jules is very excited to take her kids and have them learn more about what she did in her younger years when she went there.
National Honor Society had our blood drive. Do not know why she put last Wednesday. Don't know when that was. In the auditorium lobby. We had a lot of people giving blood that day, which is beyond amazing. And we really appreciate those that came in and did donate. You're making a difference in our community. probably not exactly you guys, but yeah. As a group, we are continuing to find our mission for the year. So stay tuned to find out what we decide to focus on this year. Miley was not able to come because she's at a cheer banquet, but hope she has fun with that.
Any questions or comments?
Can you guys make sure that she gets the book?
Yes.
For the
We don't want her to miss out on the first assignment.
For the STEM Day, the National STEM Day, is that available for any MHS student to do?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, nice.
The same for the trip.
Yes. I wish I could go. Costa Rica sounds fun.
Do you know about how many individuals donated?
I'm not
Rough.
sure. I'm pretty sure I could pull that up, but that.
No, it's okay.
Just if I don't, it's not on there. But it was a good amount of people, and I'm actually surprised by that because me personally, I'm scared of getting my blood drawn. Well, not scared, but it's kind of giving vampire. I don't know what to do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So AA is in the process of electing board members, and there was one applicant for our District 3. That was Dr. Mary Stevens, who's a resident of the Marshtown Community School District and a long time, highly respected employee of the AA. So I would recommend the board support her nomination to be elected to the AA board.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion to cast our ballot for Dr. Mary Stevens for election to the AEA board?
So moved. Second.
We'll go with Faltis Hernandez. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. Mr. Martin.
Good afternoon, members of the board.
Good afternoon.
All right, I'll be up here for a couple different slides, but we'll start with our favorite currently is Franklin Field. So similar, we'll go through an update. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you want to go to the next slide. We'll go through progress photos, 2D and aerial videos as well. Go through the current schedule, go through some delays as well. Go through budget updates, safety and construction state oversight. Progress, I know a lot of you guys have been by the site in the last couple weeks. There's a huge new banner that Dr. Schutte got up there that's pretty sweet looking. But as far as the construction goes, synthetic track is complete, or synthetic turf is 100% complete. The asphalt base is done, but the track is not done. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. All the site paving is done, ADA parking and so forth. Site fencing is nearing completion, so there'll be a 6-foot security fence around the entire site per your guys' standard. Landscaping is ongoing this week, hydro seeding. Bleachers and press box, you guys should see that stand up in the last week or so here. They'll be working for the next 10 to 12 days on that structure. And then site hand railing is forthcoming, and then track surfacing. Due to the weather at this time, we did not get that done. That is being pushed till spring of 26 early. So there's several factors that went into that. Unforeseen conditions with rain and so forth, but at this time, that was one thing we were unable to get done. So, as far as, just keep going. Progress photos, just kind of summarizing what has happened on site. So final grading, there's that fantastic graphic earlier that was mentioned. The bleachers be similar to the high school, just a smaller version. And then working through door and security on the concession stand. Interior, so this is some of the stuff that you won't see from outside. MEP rough-ins are going on, also beginning finishes here in the next couple weeks. Once roofing starts, we're doing some additional fencing around the site. The roofing substrate is on, and then landscaping over by the Glow Trail and some other areas is installed as well. Schedule. We have a few things left to complete with the shelters and ticket booth, lighting replacement for both of those. The bleachers and press box, we have a couple weeks left there. As far as the existing restrooms, working through getting those revamped as well for storage. And then the lower playground area is just waiting on some additional handrail that we added. And again, the track would be late spring. And then I just updated our final completion to next year. So, other than that, some budget to go through. Still in the green as far as overall. Allowances used to date is 63,000 out of the 172. So we're still net 108 for allowances built into the contracts. Contingency, we're still netting 165,000. So basically, both of those would add together roughly 270 some thousand that we would give back potentially here in the next couple weeks as we close out contracts. Upcoming adjustments, some additional roofing R values for the concession stand as we go through some details there. Made some preventative maintenance for future replacements to the track, so adding some gates and then some additional concrete just to spruce up in certain areas. So overall, the team has been doing a great job. Thanks to Tim and the team and Chuck for allowing us to work while school's still in session. And the contractor presence has decreased, but there's still work going on. On the right-hand or left-hand side, I just updated with some of our new partners. Legier was out, did signage on the east retaining wall and the Franklin Field building. CLK Landscaping is back on site. H2I is done. They provided the scoreboard and all the athletic equipment. Other than that, as far as safety goes, we're up to 186 days working at the site. That's Mondays through Saturdays roughly. We're at 19,000 hours roughly with no recordables and 28 weekly inspections. Still keeping on track with our commitment there. This is similar to last time. I'll just keep showing you the existing state, and then the remaining slides is just as of a week and a half ago. These get updated every 2 weeks, but just kind of give you a different perspective versus driving by. I did not get your sign in here, but that will be in next week, Dr. Schutte. Other than that, the turf looks good. Kids are using it. I don't think there's been any issues. And then we're working on final electrical connections over the next couple weeks with Alliant to get power to the athletic lighting, the concession stand, so everything can start going live. Any questions on Franklin's update?
We still have the flagpole to install, right?
Yes, flagpole should be going in Friday. We're waiting on the light. Yes.
So then other than the track surface itself, the rest of it still be done before the end of the year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we're still forecast to be done this month with the concession stand. The reason for the track is it has to have a certain degree, so.
Yeah, we talked about it last time, I think, and I think we were hoping for some warmer weather that just didn't stick around for us, so.
Yep.
I think it's kind of amazing what you were able to do with all the rainfall we did have, and where we're at today. I am a little disappointed the track's not going to be done quite yet.
Yep.
And hopefully April, I'm hoping we can have it ready for the kids come May. But if I understand this correctly, it looks like we're way under budget, around 200,000 plus. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep. Yep, and I can't take the credit for the field work. That goes back to Chuck and Luis and the field teams for working through all those rain days. I think we're up to 40-some inches roughly. Those are the guys that pushed this to where it is today. So. And gals, excuse me.
Well, and I think most of you recall a similar project that we had at the high school where we started in April and finished by September 1st. The only exception would be the concession building came the next year. So I too am disappointed that not only, we're going to miss the track season next year because realistically, based on average temperatures, it'll be May before we likely are going to get that track surface down. So our Miller's first official use will be the fall of 26 for football. We may be able to play some soccer matches there next spring, as long as they're not when the track surfacing is being put down.
Is there a chance that they'd have an end-of-year elementary track day there next year?
We'll just have to see. I mean, if we were to plan on such, we definitely need to plan for Plan B, which would be to transport everybody out to the high school to pull it off. Spring is a very unpredictable weather season, so but it looks amazing. The community is super excited about it. It's been challenging to keep people off it because we do let Franklin Elementary use it, but our intent is not to open it up for public use until we have full access to it, which will not be until the track surface is complete. So we've worked with Boyd Jones and our own people to try to figure out how to fortify it. People are very creative on how to get around the security, whether it be young people or adults. But we understand their anxiousness to use that great facility, certainly, and hopefully they'll continue to use the high school as warranted until this facility is ready.
Any other questions on the Franklin Field project update?
Is that mural like right above the back door of Franklin? No, where is that at? Trying to figure
It's
it out.
on the back of the building facing the field in 13th Street
Oh,
on the second story level.
Jim Doors? Nope, I'm just thinking. East.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'll have to pass by.
Just go by and take a look at it.
Have to.
Yeah.
You can't miss it.
Okay.
Okay, and then you've got change orders, Frank.
Yes. And then you can go whichever one you guys want to start with, Abby. All right. So these are included in those numbers provided earlier just for transparency. So some vendors do have allowances that have been used, so that's why we're taking out of contingency, but overall we're sitting really decently here. This change orders for Ram Construction. Working through final design for the bleacher pad, we had added some additional square footage of concrete for footings, which resulted in this change for $13,900 roughly. Again, this is Ram's Construction, change order 2, revised 1. This is additional design work that was added as we were going through design with all the water we encountered with the retaining walls on the east and the south. We added some keyway details. We did some additional shoring up at the ticket booth, and we also did some expedited labor work over the weekend to meet the school's deadline for school start. Des Moines fence here is for additional fencing added over by the west loading dock. There's existing galvanized fencing there. We relocated it based on some recommendations to on top of a retaining wall, which would aid B&G in future maintenance of that area. There's a bit of a 2 to 3 foot spot that was pretty hard to get to. And now all the fencing around the school will match. Those are the 3 change orders.
Any questions about those change orders?
Is the value of those change orders still built into our contingency?
Leah, yes, it is.
Okay.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve these 3 change orders as presented?
Second.
Faltis Morales, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. And then the Miller Middle School project update.
Yes. Just so everyone's aware, this is when we're going to start trying to transition a little bit into the construction, pre-construction updates versus just mainly design, as we've been doing for the last couple months, and budget. Those are still going on in the background, but want to bring to light where we're at schedule-wise, as I know there's several questions being asked on start dates. So hopefully I can provide some clarity on that. Like again, if you guys have questions, please speak up. So short slide here, but this is our graphic for the schedule. I will show this differently next time since it's a little hard to read. So just so everyone's aware, Envision is working to 95% CDs that are coming out later this month. That's just the next iteration of drawings so we can go out for bid. In the meantime, the team and I have released elevators, precast, and curtain walls out for bid, provide and install due to procurement timelines that we identified. Those bids are due back here in about a week and a half, I believe, November 11th. Other than that, the team is working through scope definitions between all the remaining scope packages. We're working through phasing with the district right now and logistics. That is going to be over the next couple weeks here. And then as far as the main project, everything will go out to bid January 13th of 2026. So that is when pretty much the entire project goes out minus what we just currently did, which is probably 90% will go out to bid on the 13th. So 10% is what's out right now, volume-wise. So, tentatively, Josh and team are scheduled to start roughly around spring break. Once we get contracts in, we want to get started roughly around then, start working on grubbing. So, the rest of the schedule will be forthcoming when we get through some of the phasing discussions. But it'll be pretty neat to see once we're all done with scheduling to see how we flow from one space to the other. So, have you guys received any questions that I did not address in terms of Miller?
Largely at spring break, it's going to be a lot of staging and stuff, right?
Correct. Yep. Basically setting up our site security, trailers, things like that. We won't go into the school until after the school year. Everything we're doing is outside. So site improvements, grading, site utilities, and then ground improvements. So basically foundations is what we'll do.
I mean, those are sort of the timing questions are the questions that I'm getting most often, right? Or when are they going to start?
Yep. Yeah.
Will any of it interrupt like the outside of the school? I mean, drive up or parking or anything like that?
There's forthcoming information that'll address those. There will be impacts to certain things, but the team is venting through exactly what that looks like and providing the best path forward.
Okay.
In essence, we touch almost 90% of the facade of the building, to give you an idea.
Yeah.
But we will continue to provide access as needed.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And can you refresh everybody how long a process this is from start to finish?
Yes. Right now, from the day we start to the day we finish is between 36 and 40 months. What changes that is depending on our phasing. Right now, we're looking at roughly at 36 months. Main focus would be the auxiliary gym. That's the first thing that we're biting off, and then moving counterclockwise around the building. We are focused on freeing up space before we take space. That's the saying we're going to start using.
Starting where, do you tell?
There's the auxiliary gym on the north side.
Okay. And then counter. Okay.
Like
I'm just
clockwise.
visualizing it.
Okay.
Something that I think is important, the students who are experiencing the construction will also benefit from some of those new areas of the building simultaneously.
Correct.
So it's not, I have a student who's gonna go through Miller while construction's happening, but not benefit from the project. That is not the case. You will have students who experience the construction and benefit from new spaces. And I think that's important for any of the parents who have children who go through during those 2 years, if that makes sense.
Yes, she's correct. There's certain things that get turned over in that 26, 27 academic school year for those certain. And then Zach, we're roughly looking April-ish of 2029 for completion, just to answer the question on how long it takes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks.
I think we're up to
me?
the Randy Denham part of the meeting.
Oh, wow. All right. First item is for a couple of Kubota purchases. These are vehicles that we use for maintaining our grounds and whatnot. I did misspeak on the Buildings and Grounds Department. Kubota, they currently have one in service, but it's close to going out of service and will not make it to the winter season. I did get that clarification from Eric Whedon and Todd Carl earlier today, so I apologize for misspeaking in that on the agenda and in news and notes. But to ensure that we have something available for the start of the winter season, in accordance with our board policy, Eric and Todd recently went out and got 2 quotes for a replacement Kubota. First one was from Central Iowa Farm Store in the amount of $45,703.84, and the second quote was from Capital City Kubota in the amount of $49,872.42. Again, needing to move forward with this purchase before the start of the winter season so that we have a reliable vehicle to assist our grounds crew with ensuring that our sidewalks and parking lots and our grounds are safe for students and staff as the winter season gets ready to set in. Meanwhile, Dr. Schutte has also been working on getting a Kubota purchase similar to the one that we have at the high school athletic stadium for taking care of the athletic turf up there. He has found one similar for Franklin Field, and we felt that since we were putting the Buildings and Grounds Kubota forward in front of the board tonight, that we would just go ahead and put the Franklin Field one in front of the board as well. Difference in price is the one for Franklin Field is a much smaller scale model, where the one for the Buildings and Grounds crew is larger, is covered, comes with the blade and all the other accessories that are needed for maintaining our buildings and grounds. Both purchases would be coming out of our sales tax funds, which we have funds set aside each year for these types of purchases. That's kind of the Cliff Notes summary version. I will open it up to any questions regarding this.
Yeah, the one for Franklin Field is equipped with a med bed similar to what we have at the high school, so that if there's an injured student, we're able to transport them from the field to wherever the ambulance or emergency personnel are. With these turf fields, you can't drive vehicles or ambulance onto the field, so we'll need a way to transfer off.
Randy, I guess I have a question on the buildings and grounds, and I'm okay with this here, but does any school district ever lease vehicles or lease stuff like this?
Leasing these types of vehicles, I'm not aware of. Usually leasing has been done with, and Amy can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, usually like copiers and printers and some of those types of items. I'm not sure how cost effective that would be with that, considering we do have staff available that can work on and maintain these vehicles. Versus sometimes with leasing, there might be additional costs built in, as part of the service contract to keep those vehicles upkept and maintained. But it's certainly something we could look into further in the future.
Well, I know that type of vehicle is instrumental for snow removal at places like the high school that just has massive amounts of sidewalk and entryways and that sort of thing. That's, I think, particularly where I've seen them use these kinds of vehicles, or long extended sidewalks like along Olive Street and that sort of thing.
Other questions?
When would we first use the vehicle for Franklin Field?
Well, we could be using it as soon as we get it. Chuck has already used the high school utility vehicle and groomer to go over Franklin Field. So it could be used as soon as yet this fall, but certainly by spring, especially with kids on it and stuff. It's going to be important to groom periodically. And as I believe you're aware, our buildings or our construction trades program is in the process of building the garage that will store this eventually as well. So hopefully that'll be buttoned up by this winter.
In the meantime, is there some place to store it then at Franklin?
We will have them hold it. Well, as soon as they've got a roof over the top of it, we'll start probably storing it at Franklin.
Okay.
Which hopefully be in the next couple weeks.
This recommendation was a local company, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, both from Central
Yeah,
Iowa
both.
Farm,
Yeah,
right?
both from Central Iowa Farm Store. Yep.
We good? Then is there a motion to approve purchasing of the two Kubotas from Central Iowa Farm Store, one in the amount of $45,703.84, and the other in the amount of $18,587.47 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Wall, Faltus, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0.
Certified enrollment. So our certified count for this year was on October 1st. Reports were finalized and submitted to the state by October 15th of this year. And then there's a waiting period until the end of the month to adjust for any discrepancies that there may be at the state level. So our staff works with the state to ensure that those numbers are accurate. So numbers have been finalized, and so we'll go over just a couple of quick terms. Most of you have seen these before, so I won't spend too much time on it, but as we're talking about certified enrollment, there's a couple of different terms thrown around that can be somewhat interchangeable. There's actual enrollment, that's our number of resident pupils that are enrolled in the district, which is our head count. There's certified enrollment, this is the big one, this is what really drives the budget for the following year. So in this case, this is going to drive the first big piece of the budget for the 26-27 fiscal year. So that's based on actual enrollment, but also excuse me, includes weightings for special education, supplementary weightings, which would include things like our dual course college enrollment, any sharing agreements we have, and things of that nature. So again, that determines our following year spending authority as well as our budget. Served enrollment, this is an important one as well. This is usually referred to as kids in seats. That's our residents plus our ins minus our outs. So it's important to remember that funding does follow the students. So as students are open and enrolled into us, we bill their districts for those students, and likewise as students open and roll out, we are billed and then paid for those students as well. So the next slide. Here you can see the blue bars are our certified enrollment. So again, that's our budget enrollment, where the red bars are our served enrollment. So those are the kids that we actually served. This year, from 24, we did experience decreases in our enrollment. So our uncertified enrollment went down 85.96 students, while our served enrollment went down 32.36 students. Couple things to note, this chart is K-12 only, so it doesn't reflect our preschool students. We do get 0.5 funding for our preschool students. Preschool did also go down this year. It went down 6 students from 251 down to 245. I think a positive to take away from this is that if you look at the gap between the blue and the red bars, that is getting slightly smaller each passing year. So that's a testament to the work that the district has done in kind of closing that net open enrollment out gap, which is reflected on the next slide here. So again, you can see the trend. The blue bars are our open enrolled out students over the last several years. So we went down from 544 to 484. So while again, it's great that went down, it's also that's less money that we're receiving for those students, but that's also less money that we're paying out for those students as well. Orange bar is our open enrolled in, which held pretty steady compared to the last 2 years. And then in the gray trend line at the very top, you can see what the net has been. So our net out did decline from 413 to 354 this past year. That is a net expense of about $471,000. And then,
I know by talking with our registrar, Stacy Mommer, she said this is the first time in the time that she's worked for the district that the district's been below 500 students that are open and rolled out.
So yeah, this slide here, this kind of, as we've been digging into it, we're still continuing to dig in the data, but it really has not only just the resident certified count, but also the open enrolled count. It's been larger graduating classes, smaller incoming classes. So I think this chart here kind of outlines that. If you compare the differences or compare the numbers of, let's say 9-12 last year to this year, you can see that difference there. And the 5-8 has stayed fairly steady from year over year, but then you can see a larger drop from K4 from last year to last year to this year. Sorry, I was reading it backwards. And then so on the next slide, some things of what that means for us. Obviously, it's early yet. Supplemental state aid, which is the other large piece of the budget process, hasn't been determined yet. That won't be determined until after the first of the year. The governor will make her recommendation in January, and then the legislature will go from there. Due to the drop in students we're likely going to be on the budget guarantee this year. That budget guarantee, what that is a refresher. That's an amount of spending authority that's added to our school district budget each year to ensure that our authorized spending limit is no less than 101% of the prior year. It's essentially a mechanism within the school finance formula to provide a one-year cushion when a district has a decline in enrollment. And it's triggered when there's that decrease in that budget enrollment or that certified enrollment. When that decrease isn't offset by state supplemental aid.
We've been on that at least 2 other times before, I think.
Yeah.
Post-tornado and
Yep.
post-derecho.
Yep. Right now, there's no real indications of what SSA will be. Likely it'll be 1% to 2%, probably closer to 1%. A 1% SSA would amount in a budget guarantee of $693,020, while 2% would be a budget guarantee of $269,473. And again, that budget guarantee is the spending authority, and then how we fund that spending authority is 100% through property taxes, which the district would levy during or approve during the budget certification season. To not be on the budget guarantee, SSA would need to be at least 2.64% for FY27. So that's kind of certified enrollment in a nutshell. Any questions for me?
A couple things, okay? A couple things that when I take a look at this, while it is a little disappointing, to see that our enrollment dropped, but I don't think we have control over that. There's outside issues with that. But I do want to commend the staff here with Dr. Schutte and his admins and the staff he's built. If you look at these numbers the last 5 to 10 years, especially even this last year, we had open enrollment drop substantially, around 60 kids, and we had 130 kids come into our school district that wanted to be at our school. So it's impressive. Great job.
Yeah, that was, there's some not great news in there, but that's just because of the way numbers work, right? Mm-hmm. But there's some really great news in there too, right? When you look at that
gap,
open enrollment gap is closing, right? And that, you can see the trend line, but it really took a drop this year, so, yeah.
Yeah, and we've had for a number of years now our largest classes graduating and much smaller classes coming in at the elementary. I think the difference this year is that we tend to pick up a lot of kids in between in the other grades, and to me it feels like there was a slowing down of that in calendar year 25. And if you recall, there were a lot of political pressures starting in February of last year relative to newcomers and immigrants and that sort of thing. So, I just wonder to what degree that maybe has slowed the pipeline of workforce, which usually would result in bringing new kids to the district as well. It's just hard to know for sure, but we'll continue to dig. But yeah, when you see that of the 85 students less based on certified enrollment, and that close to 50 of those student reduction is attributed to less open enrolled out, that makes you feel a little bit better about the situation.
Any other questions or comments?
I have a question. Would students who are utilizing more of a voucher or homeschool or other type program, do they show up? Where do they show up in this certified enrollment?
Good question. I forgot to put in here, so I appreciate you bringing that up, Leah. So the ESA funded students actually went up from 265 to 311 this year. So that's not That's separate from that certified enrollment count, but we do get some funding for those students, roughly about $1,200 in categorical funding for those kids. This is the first year of the voucher program where there was no income restriction, so basically it was open to anyone. We don't have any data yet showing how much of that increase, if any, are students that were on the certified count last year and then moved and went over to one of our non-publics for this year. We're still working, trying to figure out what drove that, because some of the challenge with that is that the ESA students, it funnels in through the non-public student reporting system. So as late as last week when I was at a workshop, it was still being discussed that some non-publics around the state were still finalizing their counts and working with the state, because apparently this whole process was foreign to them. I'll keep my commentary to that. But so yeah, we're still trying to figure out who all is in that count and where those students come from, or if they came from our certified count, if that makes sense.
Yep, that makes sense. Okay, thank you. Keep us apprised of once we have some numbers there. I'd like to see that in conjunction with what we just reviewed.
Sure.
Anything else? Okay. Early retirement.
Early retirement. No changes from the last meeting. We had the discussion. So as you know, we are looking to recommend offering early retirement this year. Some of it in part due to our enrollment decline and some of the other financial challenges that I've shared with the board previously, with where our fiscal year 25 numbers ended, and just kind of as a stabilizing mechanism, and also due to the work that the district has done to fill positions, we feel we're in a good spot, and this is a good year and a good opportunity to offer early retirement to staff. Due to some recent legislative changes, it is also, there's some flexibility provided to retirees to where they can kind of benefit from both worlds by taking early retirement, getting those benefits, and in some cases, depending on the retiree and their situation and their desires, they can come back and work and still, get a check and get early retirement benefits. In addition to that, again, everyone's situation is unique, but just to recap for folks, we do have, if this is approved tonight, we have, my thing's not counting, we have 46 folks that are eligible for early retirement. And that early retirement benefit is the district would pay for health benefits for up to 96 months or 8 years, or until they turn age 65, whichever occurs first.
Are there questions or comments?
What is the potential cost savings again?
Well, if all 40-some folks took it, it would be $850-some thousand, but the likelihood of that occurring is rare. So we're estimating based off of prior numbers of folks taking their early retirement. Obviously, since it's been a few years, we're anticipating maybe a little bit more than what's historically been taken, and then depending on the staff that are hired to replace those folks. But we're estimating anywhere in the $250,000 to $300,000 range of cost savings for the district.
So if it was offered, I think we talked about there'd be some sort of a deadline for folks to.
Thank you. So typically when the early retirement is offered, we want to give folks at least 45 days to take time to review the information and their situations and determine, because it is a big life-changing decision, so we want to give folks ample time to do that. Typically, we've given them 45 days to do that. So if this is approved tonight, Mrs. Wyatt would send out a communication to staff tomorrow, and we would allow them till December 19th, which is that Friday right before winter break, which would put us right at the 45-day mark. And that would allow the district time also then to start planning for the getting those positions posted and ready for the new hire season.
Any other questions or comments?
And this is something we're going to review year by year, correct?
Yeah, we always review it
Per board
every
policy,
year.
we review it every single year. So there's always action every year, whether to offer it or not offer it.
Okay, if there's nothing else, is there a motion to approve offering early retirement incentive for fiscal year 2026 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Morales, Faltis? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. Policies.
We have 4 policies returning from the last meeting as a first reading. 206.03 secretary, as in board secretary. 503.09 student use of personal electronic devices. 503.09 R1 student use of personal electronic devices. And 901 public examination of school district records. These appear as they were when we reviewed them at the last meeting. I would recommend board approval and waive the second reading.
Are there any questions or comments? Then is there a motion to adopt 20603, 50309, 50309 R1, and 901, and waive the second reading?
So moved.
Faltis Hernandez? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. And then, Zach, did you have? Yep, Zach, you had initial reviews.
3 to talk about 210.08. What we're looking to do here is board meeting agenda is the item. The recommendation from legal team is to add additional language that describes some procedurals and how to take action. 211 is for open meetings, basically adding language on election or if you're appointed to the office, what procedures need to be in place and training to take place. 212 closed sessions. We just need to mark this as reviewed and no changes. So the first 2 will be first reading to amend.
Any questions for Zach? Okay. Then 212 will be marked as reviewed, and 210.08 and 211 will come back for a first reading to amend. Abby, any additional communication items for us this evening?
We'll be back in TV news sometime here soon about Miller updates and Miller 100. And then going along with the Spirit t-shirts, our high school students traveled over to Oakland for the first elementary assembly, so kind of a range of student athletes and leaders. They were able to connect with the kids and share Bobcat spirit, and it was really a special moment. The next one that's taking place will be at Rogers this week.
Cool. Committee reports. Any committees met since the last time we got together?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm like, no. Sorry, I've been in a fog, I've been sick. What did we meet about? Got to see the attendance center plans from each school and got to talk about it. Pretty on track on that. What else did we talk about? Yep, literacy grant.
Yeah.
Leah, help me out.
Yeah, the literacy grant, that was good to review. And and just kind of see how we're implementing the review framework, but we haven't really selected see, now I'm the curriculum that we would use and apply that to. And then those Iowa school performance profiles and looking at like absenteeism and things like that. Right? And parent-teacher conferences?
Oh, yes. You guys, I can share more, but
If you think Leah has adequately covered it, Shauna, then you don't need to say anything at all.
an amazing job.
Okay. Okay.
I wasn't able to attend the last Auditorium Foundation meeting, but I know they've got a big event on Saturday, November 8th.
They do have a big
I believe
event.
it's at 6 o'clock at the Marshtown Performing Arts Center, aka Marshtown High School Auditorium. Joseph Kaczynski, graduate, director of a lot of big movies, most recently F1, Top Gun Maverick, Tron Legacy, will be here, and we'll be giving a presentation of some sort along with Q&A from the audience. So that'll 6:30, and that'll help kick off a big fundraising campaign that the Auditorium Foundation is having to try to refurbish lights, sound, rigging systems, curtains, etc.
Okay, looking at reminders, Sarah's got initial review policies for the November 17th meeting. Franklin Elementary will be presenting to the board. And so next Tuesday, am I remembering right? Or maybe it's Monday.
Monday at 10 o'clock.
There you go. Next Monday. Yep. Is the Franklin board visit. If you haven't already done so, tomorrow's election day, so get out and vote.
We've distributed the books for the District Administrator book study. When you wonder you're learning, I think it'll be an enjoyable read. I will push out board assignments as it relates to that, but basically we'll be reading a chapter per meeting. So at the next meeting, November 17th, if you could read the introduction, chapter 1, and then I'll push out a document that has the rest of the chapters there.
Any items for a future agenda?
We are planning on a 3DE update, and hopefully we'll hear from the winning team as far as their challenge for 9.2 with Mechdyne at the next meeting, and still working on the previous inquiry relative to transportation as well.
And the 3DE, remind us, Karina, when is that?
This Wednesday at 9:20 in the auditorium.
And that's at the Performing Arts Center, right? Okay.
All are welcome. I send an email out, so administration as well. So I'm hoping during the November 17th, we'll have the winning team come present their presentation.
Oh, very nice.
I did want to point out that we didn't get to see the MEP video that was on the agenda. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. It's nice.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, it's a nice video.
Mia just texted me, I forgot the video. I'm like, it's okay. We all have it, so you can watch it. It's a nice video. It's a nice background of what MEP is.
Yep. What have we done this evening to improve education for the students in Marshalltown?
We saw a lot of fruits of the labor as it related to a lot of recognitions.
Lots of recognitions.
I think it was good to hear both the math curriculum updates.
I was going to say the same thing. I really like the idea of coming back a year later and talking about it. It's great. Great reminder of what we approve.
Well, it's exciting to be nearing the finish line, no pun intended, of the Franklin Field project, and it's invigorating to get to where we're getting with the Miller project too. There's been a lot of time and effort put into the planning to get ready to go out to bid on that project.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Faltis Hernandez, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
See you all in 2 weeks.